Hello, my friends, and thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Chew Your Water. I am bringing a topic today that is very, very incredibly important to me. It's something that is so important to me, I have even brought it into my health coaching as one of the main pillars. My name is Chrissy Carroll. I am a registered nurse turned health and wellness coach, bringing you all the best information on health and wellness here today. So today we're going to be talking about sleep versus rest. And I would like to start with sharing with you guys that when I was a registered nurse at Bolingbrook Hospital about 13 years ago, I worked with the most outstanding nurses from the Philippines. And one day, one of them said something to me that has stuck with me this whole entire time. And that was, "You're the strangest white woman that I know." To which I went, "Thank you. Why?" And she said, "Because you take a nap every day." Well, yeah, that's very, very important. And she said, "Yes, but Americans don't do that." She said, "My culture does that. But it's interesting to me to meet a white woman here in the United States who honors that." To which I shared with her that I have always really, really loved the European culture and the European way of doing things, the lifestyle. And I know that within myself, I'm not a machine. And I absolutely cannot function at 1,000,000% for 24 hours. It's not possible. And I lived the life of where I went going hard, hard, hard all day long, keep going, and then get to bed and just collapse. And I realized with that the quality of sleep that I was getting was very extremely poor. Because when I was sleeping, my body was still working. My brain was still working so much that I wasn't getting any rest, which is much more important than the amount of sleep that you get, the amount of rest that you get. So we're going to get into that and talk about the difference between the two and which is much, much more important. Because there are people who can sleep 8 hours at night and they wake up in the morning and they do not feel rested, they're not ready to go, their brain is foggy. Those 8 hours didn't mean anything. And most likely, if they had listened to their body and gone to sleep when their body was saying, "Okay, I'm done for the day. Thank you so much for this wonderful experience, but let's go rest," then they would actually get quality sleep. And that's so, so important for our bodies, for the way that our bodies function. Your body runs on a nervous system, your central nervous system and your nervous center. And the purpose of that is to keep everything else working. If your nervous system is dysregulated, your kidneys cannot function. When your nervous system is dysregulated, you may notice that you have to use the washroom more often. That's literally a hormone that your body is giving off when your nervous system is very excitable, that is telling you, "I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay." And one of the first things that will happen is that your kidneys react and make you have to go to the bathroom constantly. So rest and bringing the nervous system back into alignment and regulated helps your other organs. So what is sleep? Sleep is the biological unconscious state. That's all it is. It doesn't imply anything more than that. Just simply that your body is still and your conscious is not necessarily working, except that it is. Sleep supports brain detox, memory, hormone balance, and physical repair if you are getting quality sleep. If you're just laying there, and especially for people who go into very, very deep sleep and they feel everything and they remember everything when they wake up, you're not resting. Your body is actually still working, and typically it's working with your unconscious to get in there and kind of sift through all of the things that you have dealt with during the day. Sleep is the best time for your unconscious mind, that amygdala in the back of your brain that we talk about, for it to go, "Hey, remember at 2 o'clock in the afternoon today, something happened and you just kind of pushed it to the side. Well, now it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I think that we should deal with that." So processing and dealing with our stuff during the day while we are awake, not pushing it down, not ignoring it, is very, very important. I talked to a client earlier today who shared with me that she has been going through a lot and she has a lot on her mind. And she shared that the past few nights she has had terrible, terrible nightmares. And even to the point that when she wakes up in the morning, she thinks to herself, was I physically moving in my sleep last night? Because it felt like I was. She was, absolutely. So your amygdala, your unconscious mind, is now working to process all of the things that you have not been able to deal with during the day. And even she will admit her life is very fast forward. Her life is full of a lot of things right now in this season that require her full attention. And so when she goes to bed at night, her mind is processing things. While your fascia, which is that nice data center that runs through your whole entire body. That's my new term for fascia. It's your data center, and I'm comparing it to the AI data centers that are going up all over, because that's exactly what it's doing. Your fascia, which is this gel-like substance that connects everything in your body. It connects your muscles to your bones, and it keeps your skin attached to your body, everything. It touches everything. But it's also this living organism that is kind of undiscovered at this point yet. And they don't totally know its purpose, except that some of us do, and that is for it to store your emotions and your traumas. So at night, now when you have allowed your body to rest and you've stopped going at Mach 5, so this is Mach 5 to Mach 2. Now in Mach 2, when you've slowed down, that fascia is talking to you. And for some people, because they can never slow down while they are conscious, that happens while they're sleeping, while they're resting. The body has slowed down enough that now the emotions need to be processed, so they definitely will come out while you are sleeping in the middle of the night. Now, what is the difference between sleep and rest? Rest is the intentional act of slowing down from whatever you are doing and sitting and being still. And she shared with me, my client shared with me also, that a couple days ago she had that moment, and this is very, very rare for her, that she just felt the need to just sit in the middle of the day. No music on, no TV, phone put away, just sit. And that is something that, as I started on this healing journey, I was called to do. God literally said to me, sit down, child, be still. You're doing too much, be still. And it was in that stillness that I was able to really understand what had happened to me, why it had happened, and how to deal with it. So the rest portion of things is so much more important than the biological act of sleeping. So when my friend from the Philippines, my nurse friend, had shared with me that she thought I was the strangest white woman, I took that as a badge of honor, because I know that during the day I take that time to rest and shut my brain down, stop trying to process all the things, because this is not a machine to do that. Rest also happens for my family, we rest in the afternoon. That's very important to me. My daughters are 18 years old and 15 years old, and to this day, they come home from school and they take a rest. And I always tell them, you don't have to sleep. It's not a 3-hour go to bed type thing. It's just half an hour, 45 minutes. Take a break from everything that you're doing and just be. Just exist. One of my favorite trips that I ever took was to Italy. And on the second day, we had time to go out and do our own exploring. So it was about 1:30 in the afternoon. Some of my other friends that I was traveling with came to get me, and they said, hey, let's go to town. Let's go shopping and grab something to eat and just enjoy the afternoon. We have time to ourselves. And I was like, yes, let's do it. I want to go explore. So we got dressed and grabbed our cab and went down to the town. And I'm sure that our cab driver, who was from there, was like, silly white women. But he took us down there all the same, and every single shop was closed. What the heck is going on in Italy? They shut everything down in the afternoon? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They shut it down. The restaurants are closed. The stores are closed. Everybody goes home to see your family, to share a meal together, to take a rest and allow your body to regulate and come back to itself. And then dinner happens around 6, 7 o'clock at night, somewhere around there. And oh, the gathering that happens in the evening is just lovely. And the time that is spent is true, genuine, good time. They're enjoying each other's company. They're eating their food and they're taking their time to do that. They're tasting every single bite. They're sharing beautiful stories. It's lovely. It's just wonderful. And I wish that here in this country we could do that. But we definitely live in a country where we put work and fast-paced life at the forefront. And that's something that even for myself as a teenager, I always have said life is just too fast-paced. We have got to slow down. And we do. And your body will slow you down. I know that for myself. Like I said, once upon a time, I was a badge of honor wearing, go, 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 get all the things done in one day. And I still have my days like that. But I do know now that taking that day at a different pace and stopping and taking the rest and enjoying some time for myself, and it helps in all the ways. First of all, my projects get done much better now that I've slowed down a little bit. But I also get to the end of the day and I'm not so exhausted that I just can't even function. I'm still put together. My brain is still clear. I'm able to finish the day well. And then I do my nighttime routine, which is the next part that I want to talk about, are some things that I encourage you to do, some tools that I have added to my tool chest that I would highly encourage for others as well. And the number one thing is to have a bedtime routine. We did this with our children. When we were raising our children, we literally had a bedtime routine with them, and then we kind of forgot about ourselves of having that bedtime routine. So here I am at 46 years old, having just rediscovered my bedtime routine and putting it into play. And it's something now that is so important to me that I feel like I don't get a good night's sleep, rest, if I don't partake in this routine. So what do? First things first, I wash my face. I get the day off of my face. I get that energy off of me and go to bed fresh. The next thing that I do is magnesium. If you know me, you know that magnesium is probably my second or third love at this point. But I have created my own magnesium butter that I put on the bottom of my feet. I have a magnesium essential oil roller that also has cedarwood, lavender, and orange oil in it. And I rub that on the back of my neck. Why did I choose those oils? Awesome question. Because cedarwood helps your body to make its own melatonin. Lavender is also a calming oil that helps to put you into that restful state. And then orange is just one of those scents that's so comforting and peaceful that it also helps to promote relaxation. And then having magnesium on your body at the top half behind your neck and at the bottom half on your feet allows for your full body to absorb that magnesium and utilize it. So why magnesium? Because it's a smooth muscle relaxer. And it helps the nervous system to calm itself. It helps the muscles to relax down into place, giving you a better night's rest. Super, super important. Another thing that I do nightly that is very important to me, this was something I started 3 years ago with the Spiritual Awakening as well, but that was journaling. And I have plans to create a journal for you guys that is the same setup that I have. But what I found, because I've always journaled. That's always been a big thing for me. But I got into the habit of just writing a paragraph type thing, and it didn't feel good after a while. So I started doing my journal before I went to bed. I started with a list of gratitude from just that day, just that 12 hours prior. What am I grateful for? What happened? And the purpose was to start it with gratitude and then to also list things that I'm praying to God for. These are things that I need help with while I'm sleeping. And what I found is that 9 times out of 10, I never make it to that list of what I need because the gratitude list just becomes so big of I'll list anything on gratitude. It doesn't just have to be those big things that are super important to me, and it certainly doesn't have to be things just that I asked for, because there's a million things that show up in the middle of the day that I didn't ask God for, and He still provides them for me. So I make that gratitude list, and that usually turns into a paragraph or two of journaling, of just expanding on what I wrote. And then I write a list of things and people that I'm praying for, and that's it. And just getting those things out of my brain before I put my head on a pillow really allows me to then rest, which is the name of the game at this point. So some of the other benefits of good rest that we are looking at, besides your brain being more clear, is your body reducing inflammation. When we are treating our body like it's a machine, and it's not even just your body that you're treating that way, it is your nervous system, it is your mind. You are treating every single thing like it's a machine that you can just pour some more oil into and it'll keep running for you. And I promise you that this is not that type of machine. You are not a machine. Society and the powers that be want you to believe that you are a machine because you are their workhorse. And as long as you believe that you're a machine and you keep taking the 5-hour energies and the quick coffee fixes and grabbing that caffeine and go, I promise you, you'll crash. You will crash every single time. God did not intend for us to live at this fast pace. He just didn't. Literally, we are supposed to be here laying around, eating grapes, taking care of each other, creating community, building together. Not this crazy, insane, fast pace, go, making money for somebody else, doing somebody else's work while they're off enjoying their life. We're not meant to do that. So the slowdown is real, and the benefits of the slowdown are literally what is going to get you to 100 years old. One of my favorite shows documentaries actually, that I've ever watched is called The Blue Zones. I'm pretty sure it's called The Blue Zones of the World. And it centers on 7 different spots in the world that they have people there, a lot of people, not just a couple. The majority of their population lives to be at least 100 years old. They're called centurions. And their lifestyle is literally what I do my best to emulate my life after, because I want nothing more than to live to 100. I want to watch my kids grow. I want to watch my grandkids grow. I want to get down on the floor with my grandkids and roll around and play with them and run in fields and do all the amazing things, right? I can't do that if I treat my body like it's a car.